Chapter 1. Sixth of the Dusk crept up on a death ant. "This thing's venom," Dusk whispered, slipping forward on silent feet, "is enough to kill a horse. It would have no trouble with you or me. They call it a 3-step kill, because after its bite, you'll last only 3 more steps." He kept his eyes on the tiny insect, which held to the bottom of a leaf, barely visible, imitating a natural spot on the foliage. Dusk turned a smoking brand between his fingers and slid forward. "They often cling to the bottoms of leaves," he said softly. "People rub against them, unaware, and the ants slip onto their clothing. In the jungles of Patji, you can never fully trust that you're not carrying one. Death could come with a tiny sting hours after you've passed their hive. One more step." He raised his brand. "Smoke," he whispered, "is your best defense. It puts them to sleep." He inched the brand up underneath the leaf, letting its smoke puff up and ooze around the insect. "Either that, or you move with extreme caution, hoping, praying to the Father Island that you were careful enough." The death ant did not drop to sleep as it should have, because if you looked closely, you would see it was actually a drawing, dots of black painted on the leaf in the shape of the deadly insect. He turned around to an audience of children and parents. Most were barely paying attention. He lowered his smoking brand, then wrapped his other hand on the glass terrarium, which held living specimens. It was set up next to the fake display, both being used for presentations. "You have no idea how lucky you are," he said, "to be able to look at these safely. Real, live death ants. Few people ever got that chance before the modern era." The children stared at him blankly. One was drooling. Their juvenile aviar, birds which clung to shoulders or heads, chattered softly at one another. "I'm done," Dusk added, a smattering of applause, which he always found odd. He did not like being applauded. After that, the people moved on to one of the other displays, several children complaining they were bored, one crying for no reason whatsoever. Dusk groaned and glanced back at the terrarium containing one of the deadliest creatures in all of creation, and he felt sorry. These insects had once terrified even the most skilled trapper. Now they were just bugs in a jar. It made him angry, with no good reason, for he was part of the reason they were imprisoned like this. Indeed, this entire park, with its captive displays of the dangers of the outer islands and showy explanations for how life had once been, existed because of him. He might not have captured these animals, but he'd signed their bill of incarceration. With a sigh, he turned from the enclosure and went to gather sock from the aviar roost nearby. The sleek black bird stood out among the others. Everyone here had an aviar, all a variety of colors, but none were like Sock, with her black coloring and more pointed beak. As he put her on his shoulder, she leaned to the side, looking at his other shoulder. Empty. She never stopped looking. "I know," Dusk said. "I miss him too." After that, he went walking, something that once, when he'd worked on Patji, most perilous of islands, had been rife with danger. Each step a risk of death, a new challenge around every tree and within every hollow. 5 years later, and his instincts still said that walking lazily like this was dangerous. Was it strange that he should long for those days?